CCN News. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and it seems like the presidential race is not the only thing to heat up in 2020. Healthcare will also be an issue once again in the 2020 races. The rising cost of prescription drugs, something that President Donald Trump says he would like to tackle. Congress has already done its part in combating the rising cost of prescription drugs back in December by passing the Low Cost Drug Now Act. This act, which mainly passed across party lines, has no chance, however, of becoming law, being that President Donald Trump vows to veto it if it ever is to reach his desk. On the other side, the Senate has its own plan to combat the rising cost of prescription drugs by punishing the drug maker who raises their costs higher than the rate of inflation. Also in their plan, they plan to enact a cap on the out-of-pocket spending for seniors. The two senators that are responsible for the creation of this bill from the Senate are Republican Senator Chuck Grassley and the Democratic Senator Ron Wyden, the two senators who are the orchestrators of that bill. Also, the future of abortions are in the balance in 2020. The June Medical Services versus G is a court case that is currently in the Supreme Court of the United States dealing with the constitutionality of a Louisiana state-related law related to the abortion practices. The state law, mirroring the one that is passed in Texas, requires doctors performing an abortion to have admission privileges at the state-authorized hospital within 30 miles of an abortion clinic. As in Texas, this law would have limited abortions to one single doctor in the state, as other doctors have not yet gained admission privileges or are outside of the given range. The Texas law was declared unconstitutional by the United States Supreme Court in the Whole Woman's Health versus Halyadad back in 2016 on the basis that limiting clinic availability was an undue burden on the women seeking legal abortions, a constitutional right as determined by the landmark Roe v. Wade. Legal arguments are not due to be heard until March of 2020 for this case. However, the two justices that were appointed by President Donald Trump, Justice Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, will be the justices to hear these arguments. And this may override the Roe versus Wade law. So these are a few things to look forward to in the 2020 race. Not only are we looking at our presidential candidates on the Democratic side, but also looking at different topics and hot button things that may affect us all even before we get to our presidential candidate. All right. So, of course, as always, please be the change you want to see. I ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And that's all I have for right now. And thank you for listening to CCN News. Peace.